And welcome to a fantastic episode of Fake Ass Podcast Side Quest. I'm Brother Ramon.
And I'm Brother Jay.
And you're tuning into Fake Ass Podcast.
Yes, you are. Again,
Looks like
we love you.
You all checked out the title. You know what we're talking about
Yeah.
today. We are talking about Fantastic Four,
Yeah,
First Step, Marvel's Cinematic Universe's new movie.
What are you shilling for them? What's with the you're doing the movie
No, I'm just
announcement?
introing it out, baby. We got it. We're official
man.
over here. This is official business, and we're official podcast talking
Yeah,
about
that's true.
official movies.
That's true. We are getting this nice, sweet sponsorship, not money.
So yeah, we just got out of the movies like an hour ago, so the
Yeah.
movie's hot and fresh in our brains, and
Yep,
we're
just like-
itching to let you know all of our thoughts.
Mhm.
And Brother Jay, what did you think about Fantastic Four: First Step?
Okay, hold on. Before we go further,
Mhm.
do we want to do this chronologically,
What
or
do you
do you want to do you want to go through the movie chronologically together, or do you want to?
I do a
Just
breakdown.
kind of right, you know what I'm saying? Like go through it from top to bottom, or do you want to kind of just go through it and like what we?
Yeah, just say your likes, your dislikes. We don't need to go
Just
through
general.
it chronologically. Also,
Okay,
if you
'cause-
are listening to this, fappers and
Spoiler full.
and viewers of Fake Ass Podcast for the first time,
Just
we
like
are going.
Superman.
This is a spoiler talk. So if you haven't seen the movie, go see it now. Or if you don't care about spoilers, tune in and listen to our thoughts.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brother Jay, what did you think?
I think that movie fully deserves the Best Picture nominee and victory
Ooh.
at the Razzies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sounds like someone wasn't enjoying this movie.
Oh, I
What's up?
enjoyed myself, but I don't think for any reason that they intended for me to. You know what I mean? It was boy, that was something else. You know, everyone kind of wants Marvel to branch out and do different things, and I kind of respect them for doing that. But like, Baba. Ooh, Baba. Like Galactus was cool, but even parts of him were goofy. Like, oh, Baba. Me and you were making fun of that shit the entire time. It
We
was
were having a
funny,
good
but it
time.
was not supposed to be funny. And you know what actually the craziest thing is? How is like the best looking special effects in that movie actually was Mr. Fantastic.
Think so?
For sure. Do you not agree?
I thought the backgrounds looked very good, and that's
What?
go.
No.
I'm going to go into one of my loves for the movie. It seems like that Brother Jay did not like the movie that much. I enjoyed it. I don't necessarily think it was a bad movie. I didn't think it was that much of a fantastic movie either, but I did have a good
Hell no.
time, and I liked some things about it. And one of the major things I liked about the movie was the time period, the space, it being in a different universe compared to our regular MCU universe,
Mhm.
and that futuristic, nostalgic. I think there's a name for it, like
Americana,
Futureverse,
kind
It's
of.
that 1960s view
Jetson
of the future,
shit.
Jetson stuff, and I'm all about that.
Jetson
It
Kana.
looked, I was just obsessed with the world, and even how they would show the Fantastic Four with the art, the posters, stuff like that,
Mhm.
all in that futuristic / 1950s, 1960s look. I was all about that, and the music fitting just with that time period or that set for the universe as well. It was that wrapped me up and sold me in, and I just wanted to be in that New York, that time period, that universe space. All about the flying cars, everything was just spectacular. And then our superheroes came in, and they were. I loved their chemistry as a family. I think the actors did a great job portraying them, but it just didn't move me that much particularly. But we could go over that eventually in the review, going over each individual Fantastic Four member. But I thought they were, the movie was fine for me, not fantastic, but it was the fine four for me.
So in the trailer, I thought I was gonna like this whole '60s thing because I am a sucker for that. Like we've had this conversation before. I think not on the podcast. Maybe we did. I don't know. But like how we really like BioShock and stuff like that. That kind of has that Fallout. You know, that kind of has that old school future vibe to it. I do like that kind of stuff. Outer Worlds, things like that. I do love that, but about 20 minutes in the movie, I had two thoughts. I thought, one, this is too perfect. Something bad has to happen, right? So I was really hoping.
What do you mean by too perfect? Just to clarify for the audience.
Like everything, like the whole plot is basically summarized like, Reed Richards is a genius mad scientist. One day he goes on a cosmic adventure and they give him superpowers. Everything is going just his way until Thanos shows up, right? And it's got or not Thanos, fucking Galactus shows up. Wow. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. And this movie felt like the closest thing to you know what it reminded me of? Starship Troopers. In the way that it felt like it was like a in-universe propaganda film for like something that needs to be covered up or something like that. Like it felt, again, I get it's like a different universe and things like that, but it just felt so like nothing felt good or dramatic or important, right? Like
nothing felt?
No.
You even felt Galactus and the Eater of World, and that didn't feel dramatic enough for you?
No, because he was barely in it, and it like there was no twist. Like the fact that their giant plan, this genius, his giant plan was to make a big ass fucking trap shaped trap for him to just walk into. Like, how dumb do you think Galactus is? Like, he knows nothing of Galactus, right? He doesn't know what his intelligence level in this Reed Richards. He doesn't know what his intelligence level is. He hadn't studied his enemy in any way, and he's just expecting he's stupid enough to just like mosey on into this fucking trap, even though like clearly he's intelligent enough to be like a like spacefaring intelligent life form that's like basically a god, right? Very underestimating your enemy. And like even when they were fighting him, it really showed how like, especially compared to other like DCU or I mean, MCU. Wow, I'm a little high, guys. I cannot talk today. Other like MCU superheroes, especially in movies. I guess we've never seen them fight a kaiju before.
Yeah.
But they looked so goddamn ineffective against him, right?
Very.
Like Johnny, like when he threw the fire on him, he was just kind of like, quit it. You know? Like the fire didn't do anything. It just kind of, he barely even noticed it.
That I feel like they could have taken that Earth planet at that time period. I feel like they could have taken them down if nukes existed in their world. I felt like a couple nukes could have got him down. He did. If Fantastic Four, not trying to downplay them and their abilities and their powers, but it just felt like Galactus, in my opinion, was way too big of a threat for them. Obviously, they didn't even kill him. They had to push him through a portal, so maybe that proves my point, that they weren't really strong enough to really beat him.
Well, when they
Except
fight
for
guys,
Sue Storm, it definitely seemed like Sue Storm was
a mildly
really
annoying woman.
Yeah, really backing him up to that corner and stuff like that. But yeah, that ending climax with him just walking around, lumbering around,
very cringe, very
really
very
didn't
goofy
do
looking.
much. I mean, I feel like we've seen Godzilla movies and monster movies recently that felt more threatening. Like Galactus loved his voice actor. I loved the way he looked. He definitely had that intimidating. But once he landed in New York, just walking to the Franklin Richards little baby, it just felt like, oh, listen, he's walking around.
Yeah.
And everyone's evacuated and stuff like that. So there's not really a sense of they have to save anybody because they did the nice superhero thing of evacuating people, which I'm not against superhero evacuating, but there's no real drama when it comes to like what's going to happen to the Fantastic Four. I mean, they try to do the cliche movie. Oh no, characters dying, stay with us. It just feels like I haven't remembered the last movie or thing I've watched in any fiction that makes me believe that shit. You know what I mean? I'm so those overdrawn movie plots where you think someone's gonna die and they obviously don't. I haven't felt that anticipation of what's gonna happen. I haven't felt that since I was like a kid.
I'm gonna be honest. I was really hoping she was dead because first of all, Sue Storm whack. Out of all of them, like, come on. It's not because she's a woman. It's not because she's a woman. Okay, it's because she's gay. That's why. All right. But like, I was hoping she would die because what I was really hoping this movie's gonna do, considering it's FF, and it really just showed how lame they are, to be honest, most of the movie, like in almost every way. Like honestly, because here's the thing, I thought about this during this. It was a good adaptation of the early Fantastic Four comics.
Okay.
So then what does that tell you about the comics? That's
Yeah.
kind of how I felt. Like the early FF sucks. FF's cool when they're dealing with the Council of Reeds and Annihilus and shit like that. But like even Galactus, but just like it's the new stories when Reed is a motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
And he had moments in this movie where he showed a little bit of that Maker in him. You know?
Yeah.
Do you know who the Maker is?
Sounds familiar.
Okay, so for people who don't know the Maker is a alternate dimension Reed Richards, who
Is this the Reed Richards with the beard?
he has a beard, on and
yeah,
off.
yeah, that's true. That was
Yeah.
I remember there's one storyline where there's like a Reed Richards popping in, but he's like from either from the past or the future, and he's helping out people like the Avengers or whoever in the present or something like that. And I just remember him having a big beard. But
Yeah, he wears a beard on it. I think like
Yeah.
his main costume in Marvel Rivals, he has a beard. But so the thing is like this Reed Richards loses. I want to say Sue Storm dies, maybe even while she's pregnant, and he basically goes crazy and starts using his powers for evil. And so he takes like all of the intelligence he has and figures out how to like fucking ruin shit, and just he's really vicious and awesome, right? Like he'll like stretch himself into people and like wear them as skin and like explode out of them and shit. He'll like he grew a homemade Infinity Stone in Tony Stark's brain, like while he was awake at one point. Just like cut him open and just fucking just grew a crystal in him.
Is this a fantastic a Marvel storyline or a DC storyline where I think it was like sometime during an alternate World War II, and there was a bunch of like Mr. Fantastics. I'm thinking about Plastic Man. Do you know that DC story where there's a bunch of like the Nazis at the time are just a bunch of clones of Plastic Man?
No, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's something like that. Vappers or other comic book fans, maybe you could type in the comics what I'm thinking
I
about.
love
but
Plastic Man, dude.
But there's some storyline where there's a bunch of clothes, and I think that's Plastic Man. But that was side tangent. Continue. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, well, no, you're good. But yeah, the Maker's sick, and I was really hoping that this Fantastic Four movie, being called First Steps, it's their first movie in this universe. Check. The Baby, I figured was coming when I saw those names. Or the subtitle. Check. I was hoping it would also be the first steps to something. Like I was hoping this wouldn't be like the start of them doing like more Fantastic Four content, rather than like them getting like giving you an FF movie out of the way, and like a few years down the line we can look and go, wow, that was a really cool origin movie for Franklin Richards, who is now a character, and the rest of them aren't, or for the Maker. You know what I mean? And like if this becomes the Maker, that's sick, right? Because the idea of like, well, it's not, but like if Sue had died, right? Now that's one down, right? Fucking spoiler for the first after credit scene, we see a little bit of Doom for like a second. Honestly, his costume was kind of cheap and shitty. I'm not gonna lie, it looks a bit of Halloweeny, but whatever.
I don't even think that was Robert Downey in that costume either.
Yeah, I mean not literally, but
you know what I mean. It definitely probably was someone else, some stand-in actor for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably, especially because you didn't see a face. So, like let's say continue that story to its natural conclusion, right? She's either like, because also in the movie there's a scene where they're showing the UN, and there already is a seat for Latveria, which is Doctor Doom's country where he owns, and it's mostly just peasants and robots. And he sits up on his little castle, and that's where he schemes and plans. And there's a Fantastic Four that's already been doing their shit for 4 years, right? I wish that there was some sort of mention of Doom at all, like in the entire movie, outside of that little blink and you missed it thing. Like you didn't even know Latveria was his country, did you?
No.
Right. So like, I wish there was some moment of like, Sue, because Sue and Doom used to fuck, I think, or at least he wanted to fuck, or some of these have a fling. So and she's a little bit of hot, I'm not gonna lie. Him, and then also Aquaman, Marvel Aquaman. What's his name?
Namor.
Namor. Like him too is he's had a thing with Sue. But anyway, so I was kind of hoping they mentioned that a little bit. So okay, bring that scene to its natural conclusion. Doom shows up. Either Sue is like, "Where you been, Daddy?" Right? And he's like, running countries, bitch. Or Ben shows up, the Thing, and is all, what the fuck, get away from my nephew. And then they start fighting and Doom fucking blows his ass up or something. And then it's like, oh, now they got another FF down, right? Start to kill his, because it did such an emphasis on family. Kill his family, kill his planet, kill his, everything but Franklin, right? Leave him, turn him into the Maker, make him go crazy, make Franklin the only person to stop him. That would be a cool ass way to do these follow-up movies that are interesting and also kind of push us into a new era of Marvel where we have different power players and things like that. But I feel that this movie was ironically like way too much of a Fantastic Four movie and not enough of a setup for anything. So I feel like we're back.
I'll say that because I feel like that's what more people, moviegoers, want. We're tired of Marvel setting up. This is one of the Marvel's few standalone movies, and some people might like that. And for Brother Jay, seems like you don't like this, just a fresh standalone.
It's bad because your next projects are massive crossover Avengers Endgame style shit that have zero precedent, zero setup. Why am I supposed to give a fuck about anything that happens to these movies when all the characters I like and I give a shit about their fates are either dead or no longer in the shit anymore, or and all these new characters you haven't made me care about. There's no setup to this story specifically, right? I don't give a shit about Doom's plight as a villain, you know what I mean, in the way that I did with Thanos and everything. Like, it's just like I'm feeling very. This movie did not put. I was hoping it would really reinvigorate my hope into Marvel, and that is officially just shifted over to DC now. I think DC's gonna kill it with their DCU, but this MCU shit
Thanos
sucks.
in so many movies.
What?
Just dropped him in at the end of credits, and we were anticipating and preparing for him.
Right.
But because I think with the scandal with Jonathan Majors, with them wanting to do probably Kang Dynasty stuff like that, then having to switch off to Doctor Doom, I think they're just kind of scrambling to figure out something, and I think Avengers Doomsday or whatever will be something worthwhile. However, it probably won't be as critically acclaimed as the Endgame movies. But that brings us to our next segment of this review. We're going to go over the pivotal characters of this movie, just the main Fantastic Four and cast and the villains, and then we'll take it from there. But I'm going to shoot some characters to you, Jay, and you're going to give me your thoughts on them, what you thought about them in the movie, your likes and dislikes.
Okay.
So we'll start with Mr. Fantastic himself.
I hate Pedro Pascal so much.
You know what's funny thing about him? He's in everything, but this is probably the one thing I've seen him in, because all the things he has been in, I just haven't seen. What do you mean you haven't seen Last of Us? No, I've played The Last of Us.
That's
I
exactly
haven't. Sorry, I haven't seen The Last of Us yet, or whatever else he's in. But I enjoyed him. I'm not the biggest Reed Richards fan, so there's not much I can base on. But he gave me smart guy that cares about his team and stretches.
I fully agree.
Park. He nailed it. So I don't know what else to say about him.
But I will say, and I've seen a lot of people say that. I have a hot take, I think. Not a lot of people I've seen share this take. I feel the same way about him as I do John Barenthal's Punisher, and I feel like there's another character that I was just talking about this with. But anyway. Oh, and like Ben Affleck as
Batman?
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne.
His Batman is awesome. His Bruce Wayne is dog shit. I'll tell you why. All these characters, first of all, I look at you. I don't see the character. I see you, right? Because you're too famous. You're in too many things. I'm surprised Pedro Pascal is in this apartment right now. Okay? And, he like... I just see Pedro. I never saw Reed Richards once in this entire movie, which I think was part of the reason why I kind of just viewed the whole thing as so goddamn goofy to begin with. Same thing with Joseph Quinn. Even though he hasn't been in much shit, he's just, I don't know, man. Something about his face is just burned in my brain from Stranger Things that I just go, at no point did I lose myself in being like, that's Johnny Storm. That is Reed Richards. I saw Pedro Pascal and Joseph Quinn the entire movie, right? Like, and that kind of took me out of it entirely. Also, the thing that pissed me off about his casting to begin with is Pedro Pascal is a square man. He's made with square-shaped bones, with like polygon bones. Okay, is what his X-rays look like. He looks like a fucking Minecraft character. He looks like the skeleton looks like the Minecraft skeletons. And Reed Richards is supposed to be a man that's made of bendy straws, like John Krasinski, is a bendy straw made human whose bones are made of bendy straws. And I refuse to elaborate on that further. If you understand what I mean, cool. Like and subscribe. If you don't, maybe kill yourself. You know.
or like and subscribe as well.
Yeah. Before, you know, do that first, and then Yeah, no, I didn't. I thought he was fine. I think if this was an animated movie, I would have thought it was great. Like I thought his performance would have been great, but I just can't look at him and go, "That's Reed Richards." I go, "That's Pedro Pascal." Like it's just, I don't know. What about you? I mean, you already said actually
that was it.
You liked
We're gonna move on to the next member, Sue Storm.
Looks trans. Looks like a tranny. I'll say it. Yeah, no, I thought she was fine. Except she looks trans, especially during her like power scenes. The way that she did her powers just looked so stupid. Like I saw
her
zero
powers
strain
will
in
never
her.
look good in live action, and this is no offense to I don't know women superhero or anything like that or whatever Jay just said, which is brother Jay's comments, not mine. But anytime you do the Invisible Woman's invisible powers, no one can make imaginary powers look cool. Just the force field, even like I don't know, go to WandaVision, even when she does the force, that the force. This is audio only, so you can't see me doing the force things. But just imagine me sticking out my hands with a serious look on my face and special effects going all over the place. It just for whatever reason, live action doesn't help.
I disagree. You know what my biggest example is?
What's your biggest example?
Star Wars. When they use the force and fucking grab people by the throats, and when they throw shit across the room, and when they do this fucking
but you don't see the actual effects.
It doesn't matter,
right?
but
unless maybe they do lightning or whatever.
Sure.
That. But I'm talking about like force. No, I don't.
Right. The special effect wasn't my issue. My issue was her acting like she's using her powers.
Okay.
That looked ridiculous. Okay. Again, she looked like a drag queen hitting the stage and posing between beat drops. You know what I mean? Like it just like it looked terrible. She was giving like a classic like, "You're fierce. You're a tiger." you know, "Rawr, honey, give me tiger. You're a beast, woman. You're an animal." That's.
I'm cracking up because I could see like the acting coach or director saying, "Come on, give me some more."
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Serve. 8. A lot of that. Yeah, it looked terrible. Yeah, like she needed a little bit more of that fucking like that Star Wars full throw your shoulder in it, fucking fucking grab some shit, fucking fucking throw it across the like her. Just not only that, but she didn't even do the like. Like in movies sometimes when they do that kind of stuff, when they're doing the posing, but you're seeing the actor at least is like so focused in on the believing that they're doing it thing that you still see like the veins pop up in their head and shit. Like there wasn't even any of that. The bitch was just literally just serving face. It was. Listen, if this is a JoJo movie, I would have been all for that. Okay, because sure, right. But that's not what we were dealing with here, dude. That's crazy.
So that's it. The powers. What about her character? What about the woman? What do you anything stand out with? Her thoughts or belief or it was just the powers and how she did that. I thought her as a character, like her little monologue with her child speaking to the people, I thought that was impactful and good.
Yeah, but and
it showed how like her almost taking up in a leadership position, which I think some of the writers or director or somebody did very clickbaity before the movie was coming out. I think even one of the actors, they said like, you know what, Sue Storm is actually more of the leader of the Fantastic Four in this movie, and I think they were referencing that moment right there, which
it's because it's a bunch of
she took a nice stance, but no, Reed Richards is still the leader just because she had a nice impactful moment speaking to everyone. Did not make her the leader for a moment. She just had to speak her truth about her child and about the people that she's defending, which was very impactful and actually one of my favorite scenes of the movie.
She was the boss in the way that like literally what she was, like in the way that like a mom with married to a man and having 2 young boys is the leader of the household, in the sense of like she's the one to be like, all right, guys, wake up. We're going to be cleaning. You know what I mean? And they're all
Yeah.
like, oh, man. And she's like, get on it. And like, but, you know, when the intruder comes in, you know, when the front door gets kicked in, you know, who's going to be there to be like, get behind me? You know what I mean? I mean, with her power specifically, she should be doing that, yes, because she has force fields. But you know what I'm saying. And like even that model, like I actually liked the idea of making her a politician, because it would explain why she would have such constant interactions with like Namor and Doom and shit, because they're also leaders. So like, in her being like politically the leader of the Future Foundation. Oh hell yeah! Oh, he just held back a sneeze silently. That was impressive. Yeah, like I thought that was cool, but then their demonstration of it, he knows what's up. Trying to teach him who's boss. The Pluto just jumped at the cat, just gave him a little "What's up? Where you going, bitch?" Anyway, yeah, get him, get his ass, Pluto, get his ass. Even her little speech came off a little bit bullshit. You know? Like, are you telling me that if you were in that crowd and she was like, I'm not going to save us all with the one thing that would stop this whole thing, but we're going to do it together. And then you tell me if you wouldn't be like, how? With the power of family. Boo. Give him your kid. Oh, well, I can't do that. You don't even know him yet. if we're all family, we've known each other for 4 years. We're boys. You don't even know that little shit for a day. Fuck him. You know what I mean? Like for real, dude. Like, you tell me not only that a single person wouldn't buy that shit to begin with, because, you know, but also the fact of like, the people were crying in the crowd over that fucking speech. Come on. The whole climax is bullshit. How that movie should have gone, if they really wanted to set up Doomsday and shit. I just need to get in these writers' rooms, dude. The way this should have gone is he should have come back out the hole, right? Mm-hmm. After they tried to push him in. He should have been like, go away, most annoying woman. Go away, gum know me, man. You know, you know? Go away, human Zippo, you know, and just kind of you know, and then meanwhile the thing is just like at his little ankles, and he's just like, shoe, you know, just like fuck off, you know, in the way that you would like a rat crossing your shoe, right? He should have just had that energy about him and just broke the shit around him and been like, fuck you, and also probably killed Silver Surfer, you know what I mean? Or wait, no, she came up later, whatever, it doesn't matter, fine. And then Doom should have showed up. Like, Doom can't let the world die. He lives on the world, you know, unless that Doom is dead or something, which they never said. Like, it makes sense that he wouldn't be in the chair for Latveria because, you know, he got fuck y'all. You know what I mean? Fuck y'all. But, like, Doom should have showed up and just fucking went up to Galactus and just did some fucking just Doom bullshit and fucking ripped his heart out or something. And then in front of everybody. And the whole world would have been like, God damn, fucking Victor on some shit, ain't he? Ain't Victor on some shit. Not the hero.
I think that would have been great. We're going to move on to the next character, but I think that would have been great if he actually came in. Fantastic Four is on their last leg. He comes in and saves the day.
Right.
Doom becomes the hero of the world, and that's his plan for him to.
Right. Doom wouldn't let Galactus eat the Earth.
You know what I mean?
Doom got plans
to
for the
really take the masses and been like, I'm your new hero. These family failed you, but I'm your leader now. I'm not gonna fail you. Mm-hmm. They failed you, so now the Fantastic Four feel more disgraced and second class compared to Doom manipulating, and controlling the crowd. Understand, you know.
Or better yet, if he was like, nobody really saw that because everybody was evacuated, right? So it would have just been them. If he's like, I'll let y'all take the credit so that doesn't happen, but give me the boy. You know, let me train the boy, you know, and realistically that probably would have made sense because like Doom is on some shit that could harness Franklin. The other two are not, you know. Can you move that bag so he doesn't crinkle that into the mic? Thank you. Pluto, go away. We're working. Yeah. Okay. But who's the next character?
Next one, we're going to go over the Thing.
Too Jewish. No, they did make him insanely Jewy, though.
Insanely
Because
Jewish.
he is pretty much one of the only canonically Jewish DC Marvel characters. I keep doing that. Marvel characters, but like they made him very Jewish. I felt like in his like behavior, but and then his I was cool with the voice actor for most of the movie, but that it's clobbering time is such an iconic line that should be said a certain way, and
Yeah,
he fucked
flubbed
it
that
up.
line.
He
He
fucked
had
it
no
up.
real power, like weight to that. But my view of thing, thought his special effects looked good. I thought the way he just looked as the Thing, the design wise.
I agree. The design is good.
Character wise, just very supporting. Did his job. Had some few funny moments. His connection with Johnny was really nice, but nothing really stand out for him, and nothing that made me feel. He did really nothing. Like, the same trailer shot they kept seeing in the movie of him destroying the pillars.
That's it.
That's the best thing he can do. The
Yep.
shit that the Hulk can do or any other Marvel
But
superhero
worse,
can
yeah.
do, destroy some pillars or destroy build.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like great, but it's just seeing him still like made me excited because I like to see him because I think about like the Hulk and other characters like that, like big strong characters, and he's a big strong character. So there's a part of my brain that's like, cool, the Thing, and I just want to see him fight. I just want to see him have a real good fight, like when in the comics he fights Wolverine or fights the Hulk,
Right.
or whoever, when he's actually clobbering, and he really didn't do much clobbering. But yeah, those
Fully
are my thoughts on
agree.
the Thing.
And to your point, I like that they did just like Superman, the established universe thing, where they were like, yeah, we've already beaten this guy and this guy and that guy and this guy and this guy. But I wish that there was like a montage, like during the part when they're going over it, instead of showing them like tinkering in labs and shit, show them punching people in the mouth. You know what I mean?
Not enough them actual fighting, just
Yeah.
saving the day here and there, which I do appreciate when these movies do have the superhero montage.
For
Because
sure.
it gives us a weight of time progression, them being heroes, stuff like that. I really appreciate this out of superhero movies, but
Right.
not enough actual hands. And I thought that was going to be one of my biggest fears of this movie, and why I didn't think I was going to really enjoy it, because none of the trailers showed enough action scenes. And I knew that was going to happen because their main antagonist is Galactus and Silver Surfer. How many scenes can you have them fighting against Galactus and Silver Surfer in a movie? So the majority of the movie is going to be talk,
Talk no
and
doozy.
then just a sprinkle of fights, and it's just like, nope. If you want to see a superhero movie, we need to see more action with that
Yeah.
good heart and that connection. But we came to the theaters to see superheroes be superheroes.
You know, with the exception of the fact of the Galactus scenes themselves, I'm going to say it. The second Rise of the Silver Surfer Fantastic Four movie from the 90s did this story better. Like, first
From
of all,
the early 2000s.
early 2000s, whatever, yeah. I see no logic now for why Silver Surfer had to be a woman in this. Also, it looked
Just a style
it
choice.
looked weird. Like her
and,
hair was weird.
We'll go on to her in a bit, but those are our thoughts on the Thing, right? Any other thoughts?
Let me think. Too Jewish, done a punching. No, I think we got everything.
All right.
All right.
Last, almost. There's a surprise Fantastic Four in this member of this movie, but we're gonna go to Johnny Storm next, and he was the MVP of the movie, as in the one who just seemed like who was doing the most amount of work because he can fly around and shoot fire. Not saying he did anything spectacular. It's just he legitimately seemed like the main one, like other than the Thing being full special effects, but he was always flaming around, chasing Silver Surfer. He just was doing the most work, fucking fire at Galactus' eyes. His character was the most forgettable character, though, because they just made him so plain. Other Fantastic Four movies always make him super cheeky, womanizing, stuff like that. Just that little shit. But this, he was just, I'm the uncle. In the movie. And
Fully agree.
Boy, Silver Surfer's kind of hot.
Yeah,
And then, he did do another MVP thing. He did do I translated the distress calls, and I figured about your family and stuff like that. Cool, I guess.
That scene was cool when he was flying through and hitting all the buttons. But that movie had me constantly questioning something that I think the average person watching the movie will probably wonder. Like, to Johnny, question for you. What do you do again?
Flame on. That's me, bud.
Yeah, but why were you an astronaut? Right? Because even just from the movie, it said, okay, Sue's a politician. Fair enough. All right, send a politician up there, especially if her boyfriend's a genius scientist. He belongs there. Ben is a master pilot. He belongs there. Hey, Johnny. What do you do again? I have no idea. And his feats were like, I translated this alien language. Okay, so you're a genius linguist? What? You know? And then he's like, I did. What was the other thing he did? He did like.
He was the first one to throw hands at Galactus when they went to see him.
Yeah. But he did something else, scientifically, but whatever. Anyway, all the shit he did made zero sense. Oh yeah. Oh, the shooting of the gun. Like that was his thing. You know, like they were all like, Johnny, how are you missing? You're a master marksman. Like, okay, what? So he's a soldier? Huh? You know, like what is your role here? What do you fucking do besides, you know, piss me off? You know what I mean? But I agree. I think that they gave his character, the Human Torch, the most to do. But I think his Johnny was bullshit. Like it was just corny and just like, ugh, like just. Again, so forgettable. That's why I was telling you, like, really, any of them should have died, and it would have made for a better movie. That would have been cool. Like, at any point, it felt like they were setting this up, this whole, like, too good to be true life they have, and that needed some kind of harsh acts of reality and trauma to bring them into the MCU. Like, everyone in the MCU right now has gone through some bullshit. Even fucking Ironheart. She just fought the devil. You know what I mean? So, like, y'all, like, come on, bro. Like it's, unless y'all really get roasted for that kind of shit, you know what I mean? For being that, like, Leave It to Beaver ass motherfuckers, like, whack. Anyway,
and
last.
The surprise Fantastic Four member, because he was in 90% of this movie, is the little robot.
Oh, I didn't think that's what you were going to say.
Herbie
talk about
or
Franklin.
Kirby? What is that
Herbie
robot?
with the H.
Herbie? God, I was whispering to Jay like 20, 30 minutes in the movie. Is like, man, this robot is in a lot of scenes.
Fucking clanker.
Just the sake of he must have some toys or a Disney Plus app. Something to go with it, but
for
Jay
sure they're
just
trying
won't
to sell the
stop
talking
showing
Herbie
this
doll.
Herbie as if he was comedic relief or anything. He was just generic
just there.
robot that you've seen in every, I don't know, early 2000s, 90s movie of just, or even 80s movie if they had a little robot. Not that much. It's just the little robot sidekick that was just annoying to see. It just everywhere. I think the movie would have been way better without it, because guess what? If you didn't have that, you would have to force the other characters to acknowledge and have more interactions with each other, instead of having to interact with a random robot that did absolutely nothing but just be, it's the future and they have an assistant. But guess what? You never saw any other people have robots. So it might be a Reed Richards robot.
Yeah, it
and
is.
The rest of them don't have robots in that world, but he definitely served no real purpose.
Not at all.
Well, that's it. Now we're going to move on to our last. We're going to do these characters together because they were acted with each other. Silver Surfer and Galactus. I thought Galactus, like I said previously, really intimidating. His voice actor was great.
But
it just, once he started walking around and stuff, it just became, I am giant, intimidating. You know, creature, man, space god, whatever, and it just, who cares? Silver Surfer, who cares?
Yeah,
I mean, didn't feel the threats of Silver Surfer, except Silver Surfer goes really fast, but never really felt that much of a threat. And then the switch around at the end felt fine. They didn't really move me.
They didn't do anything
Galactus
for that.
His first scene moved me because he was such an intimidating factor, and just like, oh wow, this guy's legit. And then the Fantastic Four busted him up, and it just, I can't even say they busted him up. They tricked him and they got him out in the black hole. But if they didn't have that black hole, there's no way they could beat him for sure if they didn't have to shoo him away. But that's my quick thoughts on it. I really have nothing else to say about them. No offense to either actors who portrayed them. It's just what their script gave them really didn't give them much wow factor. But guess what? That's MCU villain shit. That's kind of the curve of, there's only a couple handful of really good MCU villains. Yeah. Unfortunately, MCU just doesn't do villains great, and this is another example of them just doing mediocre villains.
I agree. Imagine hiring Ralph Fiennes to play a superhero villain, and he has half a page of dialogue in the whole fucking thing. Crazy. I thought he looked good in the mask, I guess. But, yeah, he just didn't have enough to do. Silver Surfer, everyone was like, why is it a woman? And then like, why are we gender swapping this at all?
Because of one comic in the 90s?
And it was like a intentional 5-minute thing that was meant to be swapped back, like, and that, you know, whatever. It was like a placeholder surfer.
Do you think the Silver Surfer would have been better if it was a man?
I don't think it would have changed anything.
Exactly.
You know,
really wouldn't.
So it's like right. So my point is like not that, like the argument is not exactly changed anything. So it could have been a woman. The fact is like this is an adaptation of a beloved thing. Silver Surfer's a bad motherfucker. I do fuck with him heavy. Why are you fucking with my shit? That's all I'm saying. Why are you fucking with my shit? Like, what was the benefit of switching it? Right? One line of dialogue of them going, "Ooh, Johnny likes the silver girl." Like that's it. Like the entire rest of it, every single interaction he had with her could have been a dude. Like, why is it that because it was a woman, he was suddenly more interested in what she was saying to him? You know, like that's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. This movie, I felt like kept having all these moments where I thought, oh, here it is. Here's going to be the really cool twist they put on this shit, right? Like, oh, Johnny's going to switch places with her and become the surfer. Yeah. You know, like that would be sick. Or, you know, something like that. And it just fucking wasn't. But anyway.
Well, that goes over all the characters and I think our thoughts. So let's give some ratings for Fantastic Four, First Step. Brother Jay, what are you rating this movie out of 1 through 10?
I give it a thematic 4 out of 10. I think that actually fits. And because most of my enjoyment from it came from being high and seeing it with you and making fun of it. Had I sat here and watched this alone, sober, in my house on Disney Plus, I would have fucking hated this movie. So my rating would have been a 4 out of 10. My movie experience was better than that simply because, you know, good company creates good times and hard men or whatever it is. Yeah, 4 out of 10. Movie sucks.
I would actually give the movie a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
Very middle of the ground, middle of the road. If it wasn't for the awesome backdrop and the setting, that movie, I would have given a 4 out of 10. If they based this in regular MCU, New York City, stuff like that, and there wasn't that charm of the futuristic 60s, 50s kind of vibe and the music and stuff like that. Oh, for sure, I would have rated this movie way lower. But the world building and the setting really got me. I was just hook, line, and sinker, and just wanted to see more scenes of them reacting with the world around them and the city and stuff like that, because I was just so on board with that, and everything else was just the movie around it. But I was a sucker for that. Even looking at, again, all the pictures and the art and stuff like that they even had in the credits. I wasn't that big of a fan of the movie, but I'm like, I want a poster of that, I want a poster of that, I want a poster of that, because they snapped when it came to the arts and the art direction of the movie. It was just such a vibe, and I loved it. And the rest of the movie was fine. Not the worst, not the best. And I would definitely watch it again with other MCU movies. If I'm watching an MCU movie marathon and I'm putting that in the mix, the playlist of the mixed with other superhero movies, I think it's fine. But just a standalone movie night, I'd be like, what's the point? But this movie complementing with another movie, I think it'd be kind of more enjoyable. You know what I mean? You're chilling with the boys, having a movie marathon, and this is somewhere in the mix. I think you're having still a decent time. But like you said, watching it alone on Disney Plus, that's not the way to watch. I think you'd be like, why the fuck am I watching this? I could be watching something else better.
Mole Man had a funny line.
Yes, he did.
That's my closing statement. Mole Man had one funny burn on Johnny Storm, and that's it.
Yeah, he did.
That's my whole thing.
All right, Fappers and our new audience members tuning in to us the first time, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You know the vibes. And thank you so much for tuning into the side quest of Fake Ass Podcast. I'm Brother Ramon.
And I'm Brother Jay.
And we'll see you all next time.
Yeah, you will. Or hear us, I guess.
Fantastic. Oh!